What a wild last 6 days I had while in Houston while getting ready to go to Belize. But I decided to tackle the outdoor space and get it done once and for all. So we actually had the DG and the big round bull rock delivered on, what was this, April 23rd. I started laying out all the ground covering, placing the plants, making sure I had those where I want them so I could put the bull rock kind of around them, placing the pavers, measuring those out, and then just doing wheelbarrow after wheelbarrow of all the DG and getting it in there. And I have already posted these sped up videos on Instagram and have longer versions of the video on YouTube that you can watch with more description as to exactly what I was doing. But this is kind of blending everything that was happening in life between the yard work and then things in between all of these 6 days up until we left. But figured I'd throw these in there so you still get a recap, get to see everything. So that's what I completed in day 1. And then day 2 was the plan was to tackle this kind of jasmine oasis area that we wanted to do. So started doing the weed covering there, and especially we decided to do this especially right now because I had a bunch of extra DG. So I had ordered based on that, hoping we would kind of be able to tackle this spot, but wasn't sure how it would all level out. So started measuring those pavers. I had to go pick up a handful more just to complete the path all the way to the side of our sunroom, and then started bringing all that DG in again, leveling it out, wheelbarrow after wheelbarrow. It's kind of funny because you can see Andrew working at his desk in through the front window while I was there. But yeah, then I started spacing out where we were going to put those planter boxes. So I was going to have to build those the next day, and that's where all the jasmine's going to be planted so we could vine it and have it go up from the ground and be between the tree and the fence. So it'll take time for that vision to come to life, but we're really, really excited about this space. So super simple. The DG is only $100 a yard, and those pavers are $10 each, not even. So it was actually a very like economically savvy, I don't know what the words I'm trying to use are, but anyways, it was a budget reno. So stoked with how that turned out. And then I had a little bit of extra bull rock, so I used that just to kind of frame and border the edge until we decided to tackle the deck. And then I had to actually rush and change to go meet up with our friends that night. We had our pottery ready to paint. So if you watch the other video, we did a pottery night, the 6 of us before, and we actually made these pieces, and then we came back, all 6 of us, to actually paint the pieces. So it was really fun, really great. I think we hung out at the table for like 2 hours painting and all just like focused on what we were doing. So we did that. A couple of these turned out really, really good. And honestly, the lemon cup was Andrew's, and I don't know where that came from, but he did an awesome job. And the rest of them turned out really, really good too. So it was very fun. And then after that, we all went out to dinner at a really great Greek restaurant nearby us. They always have like belly dancers, and they made our 4 friends get up and dance. So that's them passing by, which was great. And then the next morning, I just enjoyed the space, that like how far it's already come. The cats are enjoying it. They're absolutely loving it. And then even one of our hibiscus flowers bloomed. So that was pretty epic. And then it was on to building the jasmine planters boxes for the day. So I headed to Home Depot and I got all the supplies. I had watched a few YouTube videos on just some basic cedar plank fencing that could be used to build very, very simple planter boxes. So I got that in some 4x4 posts, and then we only have this little circular saw, so it was actually hilarious cutting these posts. I later learned I could have had Home Depot cut them for me, and I did on the last one that I needed to cut because I was in a pinch the last day. But yeah, I managed to get them all cut. I just had to rotate those 4x4s to all 4 sides in order to cut all the way through them. But really, really easy. I did all these by myself. It was nothing crazy, as long as you got a tape measure, a drill, and some sort of saw. And again, you could have used Home Depot. I think just about anybody could build these, but it still felt great to build something with my hands. And then when Andrew came and helped me place it in, it fit perfectly in the spot I measured, so that also felt very good. So once I had one made, I wanted to make one at a time just to make sure if there were any learning lessons that I learned them before I built the second one and cut all the wood. So first one went well, so I just mimicked everything I did on the first one for the second one. And it of course went faster because I knew what I was doing and what to expect. So I got that done, and then again, it fit like a glove. And this time I actually carried it by myself because Andrew was working, and they're very, very light. So if anybody wants to build one, build one. But it turned out really good. So now we just need to fill those planters up with dirt. But we had a nice little date night out there that night, played combio, drank some wine, had dinner, and it was awesome. So The next day, and we're getting down to like 2 days before Belize, I needed to cover up the eyesore of that fireplace wall, and that's going to be our herb garden and maybe a little flower garden as well. Maybe sweet potatoes is really what I'm hoping. So sweet potatoes and herbs would be awesome. So I needed to build basically a 3-sided planter box and then use the back wall as the 4th side, and then we are going to line these before we put any sort of potting soil and dirt and debris and organic just stuff in there, just to protect the house and the foundation. But ended up taking a little finagling to get it into place around a fence post and roots, and I needed an extra day to get a little bit more of it done. We just spent 6 hours
with no food, water.
At T-Mobile. We switched over from AT&T to a T-Mobile account because they have the best international roaming plans. But it was supposed to take up to 2 hours max, and by chance we just drew unlucky straws today. We were so patient though through the whole thing. I have to say we both behaved so well. But 2 of the phones that they tried to transfer everything to were just like bad phones that they had in stock. Something happened. They even mentioned how they noticed they came in a funky package, whatever, anything. So it took 6.5 hours. So that day's gone. No yard work today, and I have a lot of other miscellaneous things to do to catch up and just get us ready to fly out in, when do we fly out? Like 36 hours? Woohoo! So packages are coming, gotta set up the cats, gotta set up our bags. I gotta clean up outside for whatever I'm not gonna finish doing yard work wise. That will happen when I get back. I don't know what my hair looks like. So that's today, Tuesday. 2 days to go. And clearly couldn't be bothered or care about that miscellaneous list because we decided just to go outside and hang out with the cats. We had 2 nights left with them, and they always get really sad when they see the bags come out. So yeah, built a beautiful space, went out there, hung out with them. All the flowers were popping off, so that was awesome. But yeah, just kind of soaking up those last little moments of calm, even after a day that kind of gets away from us. And then the next day I had some tasks to knock out to finish that planter box. This only took me, I think, maybe an hour to do, but I basically had to shorten the length of that wall because it really, the finagling wasn't working around the fence post. So shortened it up. We can always extend it later once we redo our fence, but for now I needed to work with what I had. So I cut off about 4 or 5 inches, I can't remember now, but cut it off and then replaced the boards back where it was, and then I had stakes just to kind of hold it down and make sure it stays in place. And then I also bought some trim to add to the top just to clean up the look of it, and then we are going to eventually paint this and everything else too. But yeah, super stoked. So bunch of before and afters, really proud with how it turned out. Can't believe it, and I was excited to show Andrew kind of the final product because couldn't believe how it turned out. All right, ready to see your yard?
God, so ready.
Let's go. Planter box is done. They just need to be planted.
Wow. Nice. Wow.
I just washed it all down.
So
That's why.
So nice.
Right?
That's great. Looks awesome.
And then somehow that was it. And this is the last picture I have before we flew to Belize the next morning. So I didn't manage to pack anything of packing or anything with the cats or anything else, but we had a great salmon dinner, and then we went to bed and we were eventually off.